The two couples, in order to escape from the atomic bomb, actually built bomb shelters. As soon as they went down, the ground exploded. It seems that the bomb is really coming. In order to protect themselves from the radiation, the men closed the door immediately and set a countdown. Only when the radiation has subsided for 35 years, the gate will be unlocked. Until then, they have to live underground. But what they don't know is that it's not a nuclear bomb that's falling from the sky. It was a plane. And that's when the wife suddenly has abdominal pains. It seems she is in labor. Soon afterwards, a boy was born, named Adam. Adam was born and lived underground, but his father is well prepared. Food and supplies. They could shop. They could fish, they could grow flowers, although isolated from the world, but their lives are still colorful. Mom taught him to dance. Dad teaches him boxing. He was taught astronomy, geography and foreign languages. He gave him all the baseball cards he had collected and the stocks he had invested in. And so, Adam grew up to be 35 years old. He made a wish that he would find a wife, and that year, they were finally able to get out. As the door was opened, Mom danced with joy. But 35 years later, the ground is long gone from his house. Only a crumbling bar. As a gate breaks through the ground, Dad went up in his isolation gear to check it out. With the smoke rising slowly, the bearded owner saw him. He thought he'd seen God. He fainted. Then, Dad came outside the house. The yard had become a deserted street. Trash-eating vagrants were everywhere. Men dressed in women's clothes told him it was only $200. He could be a man or a woman. He immediately went back underground and he told his wife in horror that the people had been infected by the radiation and had changed. He advised his wife to stay underground, but she had had enough of living without the sun. She wanted to see the mountains and the sea, and she wanted Adam to see the outside world too. Suddenly, his father had a heart attack. Mom had to send Adam out to buy medicine, and buy another 20 years worth of supplies. So Adam comes to the surface for the first time in his life. This was going to be a good one. This man has lived underground for 35 years, now that he's grown up. It was also the first time he'd ever been outside. She was excited by the bright sky. The passerby wonders, what could be so strange about that sky? Seeing a black man, he shook her hand happily. The black man was confused. Afterwards, he went to a collector's shop. He wanted to sell the baseball card his father had given him for money. The owner took one look and immediately his eyes lit up with gold. He saw that Adam didn't know what he was doing, and that he had fooled him into thinking that all these valuable things were. All of them were worth only $500. Foolishly, Adam thought he had made a fortune. Fortunately, the shop girl interrupted him. Adam turned his head and looked. With just one look, he was instantly in love. Her name was Eve. She told Adam that this is worth $6,000 for any one of them. The boss was so upset that he fired Eve straight away and threw the two of them out. Afterwards, Adam was going to go home, but suddenly, he realized that he had forgotten where his home was. He had no choice but to beg Eve to take him to the hotel first, and offers a card as a reward. Eve agrees and she took him to the hotel. The next day, Eve felt bad about her conscience and returned the card to him anyway. Seeing that she was leaving, Adam rushed after her again and asking her to sell the cards for money and to buy medicine and supplies. Eve asked Adam to pay her $1,000 a week. She was surprised when Adam agreed immediately. He was a rich man. She was delighted, but what she didn't expect was that when Adam bought, he bought several warehouses of supplies. Not only that, Adam actually asked her to help him find a wife in a fortnight. This left Eve speechless, but she agreed. The next day, she took Adam to the pub. The boy's name was Adam. He had been living underground for 35 years. He wanted to go back to the surface to buy medicine to save his father's life, but as soon as he left the house, he got lost. Luckily, Eve, a kind girl, took him in. He was a good skater. He would jump in and play in the sea, even getting what was a pleasure. Unwittingly, Eve seems to have taken a liking to this strange boy. Watching him talk and even dance with other girls, she was so upset, so she left the bar angry. But when her friend says Adam had been taken away by another girl, she couldn't resist the urge to go and find him again. But Adam came back on his own. She was so scared that she fell over while dressing the wound. The two of them finally shared their feelings. Adam confessed to her. He said that he was actually living underground. He asked Eve if she wanted to go back with him. Eve thought he was crazy and she sent him out the door. The next day, Eve called the doctor. She wanted to take Adam to be examined, but Adam saw what was happening and drove away. He accidentally found his way home to the bar. His father was restored to health. The three of them embrace happily. On the other hand, Eve discovers that the things Adam uses was all made 35 years ago. She began to believe that what he said was true. She immediately went out with her friends to look for Adam. They searched for a long time, but they found nothing. Eve was lost. Just then, Adam suddenly appeared in the street again. She got out of the car immediately and kissed him. Afterwards, Adam introduced her to his parents. Mom talks happily to Eve and the father then secretly teaches Adam a few things. At the end of the story, Adam becomes a billionaire with his dad's baseball cards and stock. became a billionaire. He builds a house in the suburbs and picks up his family from underground. Mom is happy to see the sky again. Adam also told his dad that there was no such thing as a nuclear attack, but Dad was always on the lookout for danger. He started measuring the dimensions again and planning the next